scientists are predicting something pretty awful, a massive mega drought coming to the United States probably around 2050. So first, we've got a quote from the author of the study on this. Natural droughts like the 1930s Dust Bowl and the current drought in the Southwest have historically lasted maybe a decade or a little less. What these results are saying is we're going to get a drought similar to those events, but it's probably going to last at least 30 to 35 years. Now we've got a time lapse of what they're saying that this drought is going to look like. It's pretty wild.
And as you watch, brown is bad.
Brown is bad. Here we go.
Scientists looked at two different possibilities. First, a business-as-usual scenario where worldwide greenhouse gas emissions continue on their current course. In this case, the future risk of lengthy droughts rises to 80%. Alternatively, if the world were to take aggressive actions to reduce emissions, the models still show drying, but the trends will be less severe.
Okay, so just to clarify what you saw there, the first time lapse was what they're predicting, and then the second time lapse is what they're saying if we actually make a change. Now, no, we're not huge on science in this country, as you guys know. If you watched last week, Ted Cruz is in charge of NASA now, which is a scary proposition. It doesn't believe in global warming, by the way.
NASA, by
the way, in charge of NASA.
But NASA, I mean, the National Association of Scamming Americans, am I right?
When you see that shit, that kind of stuff. Now, I know we're all science people. We believe in climate change and all that. I'm not a scientist, but scientists give me information, and then I accept it. That's scary stuff when you see that, right?
Yes. Why can't they come up with a thing that if we can warm the planet, why can't we come up with something that cools the planet, you know? Why can't we
Jimmy, every time it snows, Rush Limbaugh says, see?
No, I mean, there's got to be a way to make the climate more frigid. I mean, can it date some of my old girlfriends? Come on, am I right? Am I right?
We needed a rim shot there.
Man. And no, but they actually do have a thing where they would fly out of planes. They do like a chemtrail thing.
Yeah.
And there's a thing that they can launch into the atmosphere that would actually cool. They don't know what the effects, you know, there's all side effects. They don't know. So they actually do know how to cool.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can walk into any office building in Phoenix in August, and it's totally pleasant. Like we have figured this out in some way, right?
Did you guys see Interstellar by any chance?
No.
Did you see Interstellar?
Yeah, I saw it.
So Interstellar, I mean, this is basically what the premise was, that we become this giant dust bowl, then we can't produce food anymore, and then we have to go to other planets to figure out how we can continue.
Was that the Tom Cruise movie?
Matthew McConaughey.
That was, and Jessica Chastain, right?
Was she in that thing?
Yeah.
She was in that thing too?
Where is it going to be raining? It's going to be raining somewhere, right? Isn't it? I thought when the Earth heats up, that means there's more energy in the atmosphere, which means there's going to be more weather events. So I'm confused. Why is it going to be droughty here?
It'd be droughty here. We're talking about the United States. But this is NASA.
Right.
That's our agency. It'll rain somewhere else.
It'll rain somewhere else? Wouldn't it be shitty if it just rained just off the coast?
Right.
5 feet.
Yeah, that would be pretty shitty.
But what's clear about what's interesting about that, and the important part is that first of all, by that thing ended in 2095. So in some ways, you know, who gives a shit?
Yeah, right.
Right.
And your children and your children's
Oh, right. I have a daughter. I
Yeah.
forgot. Is that we can do something about it? I mean, we can. It's not just us. That was a point of if all the industrialized countries made sort of thoughtful, principled, smart steps to retard climate change, to retard the warming and fight climate change, then you get the second scenario, which is okay.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's survivable.
So when I was reading this, I kept thinking about one of my favorite George Carlin bits where he says, you know, people, this is from years ago, before everyone was talking about climate change the way we talk about it now. This is like 15 years ago. Him talking about how the Earth's been through cooling and warming
yes.
and meteors have hit and all this stuff. And you know what? The Earth is always going to be here. And it's egotistical of us to think that it's all about us. But I guess we're self-interested, aren't we? I mean, we want to survive.
The planet will always be here. It doesn't matter what we put in the oceans, whatever. We're the ones. We're screwing up the atmosphere that has developed that would sustain our life.
Right.
But so we're going to screw up that atmosphere, but Earth is going to be here forever.
So is that the flaw of the climate change people, that they're not focusing enough on they keep making it, the Earth is changing, but we need to go, this is about us.
Yeah.
Then it would get people more excited, right?
I don't think so, because the reason why people aren't accepting the science of climate change is because they're being manipulated by propaganda funded by oil giants, right? So that's what this is about.
Yeah. So is the only thing, last thought, is the only thing that's going to ever change the way we discuss this stuff is that when we actually have a food scarcity, like when eventually it gets so hot that our corn, because it's going to be about corn, our corn won't grow, and then that pretty much, that to me seems like the wake-up call. When Americans can't get food the way they get it now, that might be the thing.
I sort of see it as the way it'll get fallout is when the people like the Koch brothers, who are just pure evil and funding evil, and when you talk about this, that's they're guys like them or what, and those guys themselves are what's funding this propaganda campaign. When they recognize a way to make money out of doing the right thing, and when there's a way for them to make money, when they see sort of green strategies as a way to get rich, then maybe we'll do something, you know, or something hideous happens to people they care about, because with so many conservatives, it only affects you when
It's only real if it affects you.
it's only when your kid is gay. Oh, then maybe gay marriage is okay, you know.
Yeah.